Thank you for doing more of a problem for the class today, Molly. Could you explain to everyone how you got your answer?
Yeah, so we were doing the volume of a cube. So in that case, it's going to be length times width times height, which in the case of a cube, all the sides are equal. So in this case, it was 4. So we did 4 times 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, and then we did that multiplied times 4, which is 64 inches cubed. So, yeah.
Great. Perfect. Thank you for doing that for everyone, Molly. So last class we learned how to calculate the volume of a cube, which Molly just displayed for us. And now today we're going to learn how to calculate the volume of a cylinder and the volume of a cone. And this is applicable to your lives because have you ever wondered how much liquid could fit inside of your water bottle or how much ice cream could fit inside of an ice cream cone? Well, you'll be able to figure this out by calculating the volume of them because we know that volume teaches us how much can fit inside of a certain shape. So to begin with, I'm going to calculate the volume of a cylinder for you guys, and then we'll do an interactive problem as a class after I walk through the example. But first, could someone tell me what the numerical value for pi is? Scott?
3.14.
Yes, great. Pi is equal to 3.14, and we know that pi has more decimal places than that, but we're rounding it to the 100th place just to keep this problem simple. So we're going to start out with inserting 3.14 as the value for pi, and then we are going to find the radius, which we know is 3 because that's the radius of the circle that is in this problem, and then we're going to square that because that's what the formula tells us to do. And then we're going to multiply that times the height, which is 6. And according to the order of operations, we know that we need to multiply exponents first. So we will be able to put 9 as the value for that portion of the equation. And then we will keep the other values the same and multiply all 3 of these together. And I'm going to break that down into 2 separate parts just so that you guys can follow where all of the numbers are coming from. So we end up with 3.14 times 54, which equals 169.56 inches cubed. And we always need to remember to add in cubed at the end of a volume problem because that is what goes along with volume. And now I'm going to do a problem with you guys, and you're going to walk me through how to calculate the volume of a cylinder. So we're going to put in a couple of new dimensions just to mix it up. And the radius is going to be 2 inches, and the height is going to be 4 inches. So would someone like to tell me how to start this problem? Katie?
Would you start by writing down 3.14?
Yes, great. We will start by writing down 3.14 as the value for pi, and then would someone like to tell me what the radius is? Molly? 2. Yes, and the radius is 2 squared based on the formula, and could someone tell me the height? Scott?
4.
Great, yes. Thank you guys for raising your hands and offering those answers to the class. So now we know to do what next based on the order of operations? Katie?
You would do 2 times 2, which is 4.
Perfect, thank you. And then we know that we're going to multiply all 3 of these numbers together. What is 4 times 4?
16.
Thank you, Molly. And now we are going to do 3.14 times 16, which I know that you guys are not doing these calculations on your calculators right now, so I have the answer right here, which is 50.24 inches cubed. Did you guys follow along and get the same answer?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. So now that we have effectively learned how to do the volume of the cylinder, you guys will have a couple of homework practice problems just to ingrain that in your memories, and we will move on to finding the volume of a cone. So I will walk you guys through how to do this, and then we'll do a problem as a class with everyone working on it. So we know to insert 3.14 for the volume of pi, and we can see that the radius in this situation is 2, and we know to square that, And then we can see that the height is 6 inches, so we'll put 6 over 3. And that's where this formula is a little bit different because 3 cones fit inside of its cylinder counterpart. Therefore, when you're finding the volume of a cone, you divide it by 3. So we can see that this, based on the order of operations, is the value for 2 squared is 4. And the value for 6 divided by 3 is 2. And we know that pi is 3.14. And then we'll do the same thing where we multiply it out in 2 different parts so that everyone can follow along. And we come up with 3.14 times 8, which is 25.12 inches cubed. Did that make sense to everyone? Did you follow along with that in your notes? Okay, great. So now we're going to do the same thing and change the dimensions a little bit so that you guys can do a whole new problem for the class. So our new dimensions are going to be 3 inches for the radius and 9 inches for the height. And would someone like to get us started off on this problem? Katie?
Would you start by doing pi again?
Yes, you would. You would start by inserting 3.14 for pi. And would someone like to tell the class what the radius is? Scott?
It's 3.
Yes. So we know to put a 3 in for the radius, and then we're going to square that because of the formula. And would someone like to tell the class what the height is? Molly?
It's 9.
Yes, great. 9, and then we know that we have to put that over 3. And then, based on the order of operations, what do we do next? Molly?
Square the 3.
Yes, perfect. So we know that the answer for that portion is 9. And then what is 9 divided by 3? Molly?
3.
Yes, great. So we can put a 3 down for that, and then we know that pi is 3.14. And what is 9 times 3? Scott?
27.
Yes, great. 9 times 3 is 27. And we will get our final answer by multiplying out 3.14 times 27, but for now we can just leave it in this form. And we are going to now move on to doing a couple of worksheets. So I'm going to pass out a worksheet on how to find the volume of a cone, and next how to find the volume of a cylinder. So don't forget to write your names on these sheets of paper, and then if everyone would just like to start out working as a group on the top row of the problems for each worksheet, there's 3 on the top row, but there's 9 total on each worksheet. So I thought that it would probably be helpful for you guys to be able to work as a group just so that you get a feel for how the worksheet is laid out and the different types of problems that you'll be seeing. And if you have any questions at this time, feel free to raise your hand and ask me and talk amongst yourselves. And then the rest of this sheet of homework will be due in class tomorrow. And if you have any questions that you come across tonight while you're working on it, feel free to come see me before class tomorrow or let me know that you've been struggling with the problem and I'll help you guys out with it before it's due.